What up, people? It's your boy Chig from Gooner Eagle Eye coming to you again with a brand new video. This time it is player ratings, where Arsenal, by the skin of their teeth, by the rub of their ass, by the squeaky bum time, I don't know how you describe it, Arsenal managed to get through the game. Well, Arsenal are, well, they lost the game, but they are through, effectively going through 3-2 on aggregate against Olympiacos. Joining me, as always, is my new co-host for the player ratings. Datsun settings is all I've got to say for him right now. And that's Ola. Say hello to the people, Ola.
Yo, fam, it ain't easy. You feel me? As, as our boy Frimpong, shout out to Frimpong. As he always say, you know what I mean? It ain't easy. It ain't easy being an Arsenal fan, you know. Trust me.
Definitely. And
Yeah, we're smiling, you know. Let's do the player ratings, man.
let's get let's get on with it. All right,
Big
guys.
up that guy, Unique 79, brother.
Yes, Unit's good lad, man. Big up to everyone that is watching. You guys know how we do by now. Please do slap a like on the video. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Lots of little shows and stuff we're gonna promote during the course of this, and I'll come back to those in a little while. But first and foremost, Ola, because a lot of these guys have seen what my thoughts on some of the game in terms
Yeah.
of how the game played out, because obviously they've come over from the
Mhm.
watch along. What did you think of the game and how everything unfolded?
Well, I like the lineup. The lineup was good. I thought, you know what, the players that came in the middle of the park today in Ceballos and El Nene, um, I expected a lot more from those guys. You know what I mean? I expected those guys to really, you know, even though we've got that cushion, you know, you expect them to go out there and make a stake for the team because we still got 8, 9 important games to play in the Premier League that
Yeah.
could push us high, and you know we need all hands on deck. And El Nene, then it was really indifferent in the game. Ceballos was a disaster.
Mm.
Aubameyang was nowhere to be seen. I said this last week in the Europa League 3-1 win that we had, and to me, I was saying, what did Aubameyang do in that game to really deserve 90 minutes? Again, he did for code today to deserve 90 minutes. Did nothing. And the two really good chances he had, he just punked them. I don't understand what's going on with this brother. You know what I
Mm.
mean? It's like this season has been so shit for him. Um, I thought, you know, so Pepe was really bright. He looked good. I thought Kieran Tierney was really really good as well.
Hmm.
Um, but on the whole, I mean, there's nothing Leno could have done about that goal. It was a deflection. Nothing he could do. But again, another Ceballos mistake that leads. I mean, the players still had a lot to do to go and get that goal. But I mean, you know, another mistake from Ceballos, and he's now the one that's that's. I don't know if he took the mantle from Shaka. I know there's a lot of players in our team that's got them mistakes in them. You know what I mean? And on any given match day, it's just a matter of which one of these guys is gonna give that mistake that's gonna lead to a goal. Every
Mm.
single one of those players has got that in them.
Mm.
After Bellerin, so at one point in the first half, he did some mad skill went past about 2, 3 man. I was like, right, is that how Hector Bellerin is moving? But on the whole, look, we're through. You know, we're through. I'm happy. I'm happy that we're through. I did say before the game, if there's one team that's got the ability to fuck this up royally, it's Arsenal. Um, and we gave Olympiacos that little bit of hope when we should have gone around and just killed off the game, you know. So, but on
Yeah,
the whole, look, I'm happy we're in the hat for the next round, and that's the main thing.
I think you're right. I think even me and Lee were saying offline just now that the narrative was probably going to be that oh well, especially if Spurs go on to lose their game, because obviously they're playing extra time at the moment. Um,
Yeah.
that will be the focus for people rather than, hold on, Arsenal lost. Yeah, okay, granted they got
No, you
3,
got to look at our own game.
but they
I don't care
lost.
what they're doing over there.
See what I'm saying?
Our business with them is done until we
I,
face them again in this competition, or they get knocked out.
I
As
agree
far
with
as
you.
I'm concerned, I'm done with Spurs this season.
Yeah, I agree with you. And unique. I put Ola's links in the description below because you raised a very very good point. I assumed that they were always in there, but apparently not. So yeah, I put his Insta and I put his Twitter in the description below. But it's Black Scorpion 3 for those who are wondering. Okay, cool. Let's get into the player ends. I agree with you. I think watching the game, I knew it was going to be a bit of a grind. I was a bit wary about drawing Olympiacos in the first place. I actually thought they would knock us out, truth be told. But then after the first leg, I was a little bit more confident. And it was
Yeah,
due
they're
to
a
the
good
first.
side. They're a
Yeah,
good side.
they're just a hard working side. And we tend to wilt at teams that work harder than us. So I think our first leg performance really illustrated how good of a job that was because, I think without it, we would have been really struggling today. I do think that the starting lineup was a problem. Immediately, I think one of the first questions Lee asked was, do I like the team? And I pointed out the core of that team I hated because I just didn't like the idea of Ceballos, El Nene, and Granit Xhaka playing in the same squad. Uh,
Shaka.
do you know what I mean? I just thought
Fucking
to
hell.
myself, you are you are
That's
asking for problems. And oh, see what I'm saying? Apparently Spurs are now losing, so that's going to be the narrative. If that will be the narrative, that will be the focus for people. That Spurs,
yeah.
I can see it already.
I don't care about them, not just
People are
yet,
saying
anyways. But you know what I
the
mean.
quarterfinals of the Europa League are not for everyone. I almost guarantee that will be the bar. So, but it is what it is. I think.
Look, by all means, yeah, I was gonna say sorry, but by all means, if people want to troll them, look, they are local rivals. If you want to troll, feel free to go and do that. You know what I mean? Do you? You know, I don't have to engage in it if I don't feel it. But you're Arsenal fans, man. You know what I mean? Your job is to throw fucking Spurs at every single opportunity that you get. So if you want to do that, fill your boots. You know, you can't force other people to do it. But if that's what you want to do, by all means, fill your boots, man. You know what I mean? Personally, I'm done with them, man.
Yeah, I think, and thank you, Demetrius, for your donation. Obviously, enjoy it. But like I think myself and Ola feel, it's just like, all right. Granted, it's always funny when Spurs lose because it's Spurs, but at the same time, I hope it doesn't distract from some of the issues that we've had today in terms of our performance. I'm not confident going into a quarter final where you're only going to play 7 decent teams. You're only going to play 7 decent teams. So we'll see what ends up happening. Let's get into player ratings though, without further ado. Please do smash the likes up. Not even 50 likes, which I'm disappointed by. But let's get it. I know most people are probably watching X's stream. I know that's probably what's happening right now. But please, let's just get those likes up and get people noticing the stream. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and let's get it going. All right, let's go into player ratings. Burton Leno. Don't really remember too much happening with Burn, to be fair. I think his distribution is getting a little bit better because he's playing less of the short game. Clearly, he's still having a bit of nightmares about the time when he played it short and, it ended up being a bit of a disaster. And I hope he continues to learn his lesson from it. I'm going to give Burnt Leno a 5. A bit non-eventful. Nothing really happened.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna give him a 6 that save that he made from the goalkeeper that went right through the whole team, right through the defense. You know what I mean? I thought that was a mad save. He didn't really have nothing to do, like you said. I was gonna go with a 6. So
Yeah.
5, 6, potato. You know, he didn't really have much to do. So I'll go with a 5.
Okay. Right back Hector Bellerin. I've seen him play worse. I've definitely seen him play worse. I think he played better in the first leg against Olympiacos than he did in this particular game. Again, a bit non-eventful from Hector Bellerin. I'll give him a 5 again. I didn't think he did anything particularly bad. I don't think he did anything particularly good. So I'll give him a 5. What about you? What about you?
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go with 6 for Hector. I'm gonna go with 6 for Hector.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with 6. I like some of what he did today. Maybe a little bit of end product could have come from him a little bit from some of the opportunities he had. But yeah, I'll give him a 6.
Okay. Some people think he was really poor. All right. Central defense, David Luiz. I actually thought was my man in the match. And I will give David Luiz an 8 out of 10. I thought he pretty much had a faultless first half, won pretty much everything. Second half dipped a little bit, but then I thought the whole defense generally dipped a little bit. But all in all, I thought he was very, very good. And I'm one of his biggest critics, but sometimes you have to just call it how you see it. And yeah, I'll give David Luiz an 8 out of 10. Yourself?
For me, I looked at him a little bit more for that goal. Him and Ceballos. I'll go with a 6. I feel it could have shown that player outside. It could have showed him on the outside, but it just allowed him to come on his strong foot for him to let that shot and have that opportunity on goal. But other than that, David Luiz didn't really do anything wrong. I'll give him a 7. He didn't really do anything wrong, but I think he could have done better on the actual goal by showing the player outside. But other than that, I'm happy with his performance. It was spraying those balls around as well.
I could definitely understand why you say that. I could definitely understand why you say that. I didn't like how close together during that goal, that Gabriel, and it's like give each other a bit of space. And like you say, maybe Luiz could have shown him down the outside a little bit, but it is what it is. I'm not going to be too harsh on him. I enjoyed his first half performance, I think, a lot, and that's probably why I give him an 8. His defensive partner, Gabriel, I'm going to give him a 6. Yeah, I'll give him a 6. I'll give Gabriel a 6. What about yourself?
Yeah. I was gonna give both of them a 6. To be quite honest, I was gonna go 6 for both of them, because ultimately the centre backs, and they still consider the goal, regardless of how you look at it. You know what I mean? So, I'll stay with the 6 on Gabriel.
Okay, cool. Kieran Tierney, I thought was very good. Constantly a nuisance, constantly trying to burst down that left-hand side and create problems. Do you know what? You're right about Luiz. I'm going to give him a 7. I'm just thinking about it now. Still my man in the match. I'm going to give him a 7. Just remembered another incident, and I thought, oh yeah, I'll give him a 7. Tierney, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I thought was constantly creating problems, constantly trying to burst down that left-hand side, was making real strong runs. There was a couple of times where I wanted to give him an 8, but I felt like sometimes with him, maybe he doesn't always show enough composure when he gets into those key areas on that left-hand side. And as wasteful as I thought Aubameyang was today, I don't always think he was helped by Kieran. Sometimes, so I'll give him a 7 out of 10. So, what about you? Can you hear me? Hello. How about you? Hola, hola, hola. Could you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, I like a 7 for Kieran. For Kieran. Huh?
Okay, there was a massive delay.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
All right. Go on.
Yeah, bro, hold on.
Your countryside.
Hold on.
Countryside 5G ain't working, brother.
One sec.
X is losing it big time.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Go on.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Go on.
But we're probably gonna be one of the last ones to get it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, like I said, yeah, I like a 7 score for him. I like a 7 for him. So yeah, I'll go with the 7 as well.
Okay. I'm gonna mark these two. I'm gonna mark these 3 very easily.
I like a 7 for him. I'll go with the 7 as well.
Okay. I'll mark these 3 very easily and very quickly. Okay, I knew he was going to drop out because he wasn't responding like someone that was there. So sorry about that, guys. Please do stick a like on the video. Hit the subscribe button as I continue going through some of these player ratings. Right. Granit Xhaka, 2. El Nene, 2. Dani Ceballos, 0. I don't think anyone is surprised by those player ratings. I think with Dani Ceballos, I think you need to ask yourself a genuine question. You're obviously not going to get your move to Arsenal. What are you actually going to do? Because you're not getting into Madrid. I don't care how badly Madrid are playing. But these days, they're playing all right. I don't care how badly Madrid are playing in the future. They're not going to want you based on that. Yeah, I just think everything he did today was just a bit of a shit show. It was just a disaster. There was only one good thing I remember him doing, and that was the chance that Aubameyang had where Aubameyang kind of toe poked it over the crossbar, and that was off a 1-2 between him and Aubameyang. That was genuinely the only good thing I saw Dani Ceballos do today. Other than that, he was the worst player on the pitch. So I'll give him a 0. What about you? What are you saying?
What, for Ceballos?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ceballos, he gets a 1 for turning up. For I mean, it was a disaster.
If he hadn't. It'd be better if he hadn't.
You know, for me, I keep thinking to myself, please, when the summer arrives, send this guy back to Zidane and keep the other one. You know what I mean? I don't want Ceballos at this point. I'm just glad we're doing this try.
Can we put an Odegaard mask on Ceballos and send him back? Like, yeah, there's your Odegaard right there. Don't worry about it. This other guy. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. I'm tired of Ceballos, man. Like,
I marked all those 3 midfielders, by the way. So I said El Nene 2, Granit Xhaka 2, Ceballos 0. How about yourself? What about you?
Yeah, I want those guys too as well, but I'll go Ceballos 1. I was saying, obviously, it was still a body on the pitch, so I'll go with 1 for Ceballos.
Okay. Smith Rowe, I thought had a very quiet game. He just does that. I think playing him on the left, he's definitely one of those kind of false left wingers, if you like, in the sense that he's always going to be someone who works hard, be there for the occasional bit of skill, an occasional bit of threat, and a pass outlet. But he's not someone who I look on to really influence the game unless he's playing centrally. He's probably the main victim of Odegaard playing as well as he does in the middle, which is weird because you just think to yourself, a good example is today. Why is Ceballos playing as a number 10? Play Smith. If you really want to play Smith Rowe, play him in the middle then. Like I don't.
Especially when
I don't get that. Why wouldn't you just play him in the middle and say, all right, cool. I want you to have more involvement in the game. I want you to develop more in your actual position. Because surely you're not saying that he's a left winger. So play him in the middle. Play someone like Pepe out on the left, Reece out on the right, and then go for it that way. That to me would have made a lot more sense than what they ended up doing. To me, I don't get this Smith Rowe thing because he's another one of Arteta's sudden undroppables, no matter what. It's the inconsistency in the reasoning I don't like. The rationale is what I don't like. On the one hand, you've got a really dangerous player, someone like Martinelli, who cannot suck enough dick to get into this team, right? Whereas you got Smith Rowe, who doesn't seem to be doing anything remotely special, but gets in the team no matter what. And I like Smith Rowe. Don't get me wrong. Heck, I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10. I didn't think he was brilliant today, but I didn't think he was the worst player on the pitch. I don't know. I find the whole rationale around him really frustrating, especially when you compare him to, say, Martinelli, who could be getting in the team, who could be playing more regularly than he does. Yeah, I think to me, I don't know. I give him a Smith Rowe a 4 out of 10. But I like the kid. I just think today was an opportunity to play him in that middle, and you didn't do that. You played him out on the left again, even though Odegaard wasn't playing. What is your plan for him? So I don't know. What do you think?
I agree with you 100%. I think just letting Ceballos play number 10 to me is crazy. It's especially when we've got Martin and Smith Rowe that can play in that position, you know. But it is what it is. He probably wanted to try a thing there. I don't see any reason for it. To me, it was. But if they were going to try something out, it was going to be this game because we're 3-1 up. And I know the game is important. But maybe if you wanted to experiment with something, this game was going to be it. He's tried it. It didn't work. We move on. But yeah, very bad performance from Ceballos. You know, it was like that game where they got Laka to play number 10 and he just ended up being a disaster. You know, like why would you drop him all the way back there? He's a striker. So it's the same thing here with Ceballos, you know. He's not a number 10. He's a at most an 8. Maybe a 6. It's 6, 8. He's not a 10, you know. It's far from a 10. So yeah.
Okay. Let's quickly do Pepe and Aubameyang. Pepe, I know, was getting a lot of criticism during our watch along, but to me, he looked dangerous.
He was no man of the match.
And you know the funny thing is, I said that at halftime. I said at halftime is between Luis and Pepe, because I felt like Pepe, at the very least, was constantly being that outball. Was constantly trying to be that threat. Yes, things weren't breaking out for him. I felt like if a goal was coming, it was coming through Pepe.
Yeah, I mean, the Smith Rowe ended up defending one for them. You know?
Yeah. He was unlucky there. So yeah, I think for me, I'm going to give Pepe a 7 alongside Luis, but I liked his performance today. Yes, you want to see him score goals, you want to see him give assists. So it's always difficult to argue the case for Pepe, because I can almost guarantee without even looking at the chat room, like, what? The idea of me even giving Pepe such high praise. But I saw enough in his performance again to just warrant just wanting this kid to start more. But I suppose, like Lee said, it's irrelevant what he does. He's still going to be dropped for West Ham. So it's true. There's no point me even bitching about it. And then as for Aubameyang, very, very quickly before I let you come in, It's funny, you know, because Lee had a lot of harsh words for Aubameyang during the watch along. A lot of harsh words.
Okay.
I always assess Aubameyang like this for me. Aubameyang has four types of games. Games where he won't necessarily do anything, but then will pop up with a goal. Then there'll be games where he works amazingly hard, does everything but score. Then there are games where he misses loads of chances, and you're like, what the fuck? Like some of the easiest chances, you're like, what the fuck? And then there's another type of game where he does absolutely fuck all. He doesn't run for a ball. He doesn't chase the ball. He barely closes it down. He looks completely uninterested. I did not see the last one. I didn't see that one. What I saw today was someone who I expected to be better. Yes. I expected to lead by the line. Yes. I expected to be someone who was a little bit more focused on winning the game, especially after a lot of criticism for, let's be real here, being late to a London derby, which wouldn't have sit well with a lot of fans. But I also saw someone who had a lot of chances, was constantly a threat. Again, this is probably the Pepe argument. Was constantly a threat, constantly someone that was looking to put away chances. Yes, was wasteful in every chance he had today, and that's where you would mark him down. But to be honest with you, I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10 because yes, I do think he was wasteful today, and that's where he gets marked down. But I'd rather he was wasteful than someone that was completely uninterested, which we have seen in Aubameyang's game this season. I think my worry with Aubameyang is, are we seeing somebody who has now collected his big check? He's 31 going 32. Maybe there is a bit of a decline there, whereas you look at someone, say, like Jamie Vardy, who's what, a year older than him, and is still performing amazingly well. In fact, Vardy has changed his game so much, he's letting Iheanacho...
the highest level as well.
Yeah, he's letting Iheanacho be the guy now, and he's playing a support role for Iheanacho. Even Harry Kane, who, all right, granted, is a lot younger than the guys I'm talking about. This is a guy who constantly is looking to adapt his game in order to maintain, as you said, that higher standard. Whereas with Aubameyang, I'm not seeing someone that's adapting his game. I'm not seeing someone that's interested in looking at ways that he can be more effective. That pace is going. I called that a year and a half ago. That pace is declining. So you do wonder, you do think to yourself, all right, so Abs, what's plan B here? Because there's only so often that's going to... I would argue that Lacazette has adapted his game more in the last year than Aubameyang has.
Yeah. Lacazette is actually let the youngers work for him to make his game just that little bit better.
So that's where I do have questions for Aubameyang. But for me, I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10 for this game. What would you think?
Pepe gets a 7 from me. He's my man of the match. I thought he did a lot of good things today. Aubameyang, on the other hand, I'm giving him a 2, maybe even a 1. I don't even know what he was doing there today. I mean, for me, I would have definitely loved to see what do you call it? I would have definitely loved to see another striker. Maybe I didn't get here. At least he would have broke his... This guy ain't played for time. You know what I mean? He would have at least broke his neck to try and make some of them chances. Especially that last one where Aubameyang broke free. It was just him and the keeper. I don't know what happens usually in those type of situations. It puts them away. What can you say? You know, it's put it wide.
I said this to Lee.
Yeah, I'll go with it too.
I said this to Lee during the watch along. Let me ask you something. Did at any time did you think that Aubameyang was going to score that chance? I didn't. I felt like he had way too much time, so it allowed him to overthink it. And like Lee kind of said during the watch along, there was a point where when he was running down on goal, it's like he never really had full control over the ball. Like at one point he kind of poked it in front of him, and then it was too much. Then he tried to control the ball, and then before he knew it, the keeper had done very well. Keeper had made himself big, do what you're supposed to do in that situation. At that point now he's too close to dink it. So the only thing he can do is try and get the angle up, what he should have done.
I thought he was going to round him.
Well, that's what he should have done. He should have opened his body to give himself that option. If you open your body to give yourself that option and you're a right footer, you now have two options. You can either curl it around the goalkeeper, or you can take it around the goalkeeper, your right foot. And he didn't do either. He tried to do this little angle dink that was way off target. At no point, like I say, anyone watched the watch along. At no point was he on goal, and I thought he was going to score. No point. I just knew. I just had this feeling. But those are the sort of things that he needs to really think about and adapt. I like Aubameyang. Like I say, no one can shit on his goal-scoring record because for the last 5 years, he's been one of the most dangerous strikers in the world. Let's have it right. But this season has been poor. Absolutely. And as an Arsenal fan, talking about an Arsenal player, looking at an Arsenal player that is in decline, you wonder if it's only going to get worse. The suspicion is it probably only will get worse. Let's be honest. That's the suspicion, that it's only going to get worse. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, but that's kind of my feeling.
I think we'll be very lucky to get one more good season out of Aubameyang.
Interesting.
Very lucky.
Interesting.
To get a 20-goal season out of him.
Interesting.
We'll be very lucky.
Okay. Do you? So what are your marks for Pepe and Aubameyang for today's game?
7 for Pepe. 7 for Pepe, my man of the match, and Aubameyang gets a 2.
A 2. Wow. Okay. Fair enough. All right. Let's quickly go through the subs. Martin Odegaard. This is a kid I like a lot. I ain't gonna lie to you. I like this kid a lot. There's not a lot I don't like about him, actually. He's showing that he's a very talented guy. My only worry with Odegaard was his injury record, because I know it's poor typically, but flipping heck, it's like he's proving us wrong at the moment. And I think he's performing well. I think we instantly look more dangerous when he came on for Dani Ceballos. So I give Odegaard a 5 out of 10 for that. I think Thomas Partey, me and Lee were arguing about his contribution during the game. I think Partey does have the occasional sloppy pass in his game, but I think you could say that about anyone in midfield. I think that just seems to happen. But again, I think we looked much more robust once El Nene came off the pitch and he came on the pitch. So I'll also give him a 5 out of 10. Martinelli, someone who initially came on, showed a lot of spirit, got that guy sent off. Then straight after that, gave Aubameyang a chance to score. I actually thought was probably the most effective out of the subs, and he had 10 minutes to perform. And it just shows you, why isn't this kid forget starting? Why isn't this kid appearing more in games? Let me not be too greedy and even say start. Just appear, because clearly it's like, why slow someone down that is clearly making so much progress? I've never understood. Wenger used to do that shit a lot as well, where it's almost like if you make too much progress as a kid, it's like
he just wants to slow you right down.
It's like to slow them down for no reason. Just let them go. Let them do their thing. So yeah, I think with him, I'm going to give Martinelli a 6. I'm going to give Martinelli a 6. Sorry, Robuski. I know exactly why the sound is terrible. Hopefully, it should be better now. And after that, who else came on? I know there's an obvious name that came on. Chambers came on for Hector Bellerin. I don't even remember really what he did. I think there was a foul that he gave away towards the end of the game, but other than that, I'll give Chambers a 3. I don't really remember what he did during the game. But yeah, those are the 4 subs that we made. What's your mark for them?
I'll go 5s, even for Martinelli, 5 across the board for the subs. Okay. And I'll go 2 with Chambers. He didn't really do nothing for me. It's just the extra body on the pitch, just to keep it tight. But Martinelli coming on, he has this presence and aura about him that players get shook when he's on the pitch because they know he's about to take him for a run. And their man, they're tired. Their man, they don't want to run.
Let me tell you something. I'll hold my hands up. I'm going to be real honest with you. I used to play as a defender, I know, many, many years ago, a lifetime ago, at school, right? As a centre-back. I'll tell you for fucking free. You know the shit I hated the most? Pace. I used to hate running. I used to like running. I used to hate running. And as soon as you saw one of those fast motherfuckers on the pitch, the thing that you do is you hurt them straight away.
Yeah, leave one on him straight away. Leave one on him.
You make sure that if you try that running shit, you watch what happens. Try that running shit on me and watch what happens. That for me, that's a weapon that we have that we've not used enough. Because the person that people always say to you, is the quickest man in the team, motherfucker is 31 going on 32, and guess what? He ain't that quick no more. Nope. He ain't that quick no more. What's the issue introducing a player who has so much potential? Yes, we talk a lot about potential, but guess what? Without potential, we wouldn't have a Bukayo Saka.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Without potential, you don't know until you play them. So
for real, man. I agree.
I don't know. It's just frustration. But it is what it is. And now finally, Mikel Arteta. Let's give a mark for Mikel Arteta. Now, do you want to start first or I'll end it?
Yeah, look, Mikel has completed this tie. Let's face it, the 4 English teams that was in there with us, there's only 2 of us left now, us and United. Leicester's out, Spurs is out. And these are 2 very experienced managers that was in there with him, especially, experiencing this competition as well. So I got to give him his props for navigating through a tough tie as well, because I think the team withdrew in Olympiacos was a difficult draw. We drew Benfica, then drew these guys. It's difficult, and it's happening at a time where we've not really had much form. With to use his words, we've been suffering. You know what I mean? To use Arteta's word, we've been suffering a lot. But look, we're in the hunt for the quarterfinals now, and that's only a good thing. That's a good thing, and I just want to see who we draw next. So for me, I'll give Arteta a 7. He's got us over the line in 2 very, very difficult games with Benfica and this one. But on this one alone, because Olympiacos is always tough. They're always tough. They always start their journey in the Champions League, then drop into, because of the place where they finish in their league. They're always in the Champions League, and then they drop into Europa League. So, they're not an easy team to play. And if you're not on your game, as you see today, they will beat you. If this was a one-off game like it was last season, when they were just playing the 1 leg and not 2 legs, we'd be out. Based on tonight's game, we'd be out. So I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I think when we drew them, I thought they would knock us out. Just because, like I say, I think we tend to do that with teams that are work harder than us. Just think that's what we tend to do. So anyway, it is what it is. We're through. From my perspective, I didn't like the starting lineup. I didn't like our central midfield. I don't like what Mikel Arteta was doing with Martinelli. There are so many things that I could bash him for. We lost the game. But for the simple reason that tomorrow, when they do the draw at 11 a.m., will be marked in the next round. He gets a 6. That's the best mark I could give him for someone who, considering we're in the quarterfinal, you have to get some kind of credit, I guess. But a lot of that 6 comes from his game last week, because they damn sure weren't from this week. There was nothing about today where I looked to it and I thought, oh, Mikel, I'm impressed. There was nothing about it. Even the subs that he made, yes, I think they had a certain amount of impact, but at the end of the day, they didn't get us back into the game. So there was nothing that he did today which should make me think, oh, I'm impressed about Mikel Arteta. He's fortunate, in my personal opinion, that Spurs have been knocked out. That will be where the focus is. That will be where the laughter is. And subsequently, as a result, there won't be as much pressure as there should be on him. He's fortunate. But in my personal opinion, I need to see better. We need to see better. If we have real aspirations of winning this thing, we need to see better. Because, yes, it's great that Leicester are out. It's great that Mourinho, for me, in a final, I think beats us all day long. In a final. That's why as much as I would love Tottenham in a final, not a Tottenham coached by Mourinho. Because I think in a Mourinho, I think he would completely find a way of outplaying us, because that's just how good he is. But Villarreal, I'll take him. I'll take him. I think people are shook about Emre effect, but I don't think that Villarreal team is amazing. You know, I think we could beat him. I do.
I like Rangers, man.
I take Rangers as well. I take Rangers. I would. At the end of the day, there's no team that I think any of us could say confidently and would be like, well, we'll beat them. We're in the last 8 of a European competition. Really and truthfully, for all those people that say, oh, the Europa League is shit, you play shit sides, this is where the competition really starts. Because you're only going to get quality teams. Last 8 onwards, you're only going to get quality teams. So let's see what happens. But yeah, do you have any final thoughts before we head up out of here?
No, look, I'm happy. I'm happy that we're in the hat. Like I said, you know, when you look at the game in isolation, we lost, but we done all the hard work in the first leg. And all I wanted from the boys today was a professional performance. We didn't really get it, but they did enough to get us through to the next round. So that's all that really matters in this cup competition. You could win 10-0, you still be in the hat. You could win 1-0 and you still be in the hat. So it doesn't really matter. You could lose 1-0 as you see today and still be in the hat. So the main thing is you know, moving forward to the next round and see what we draw. And we you know, we plan from there and go from there. So yeah.
Agreed. All right then. Well, let's head up out of it. Thank you once again for joining me. I know you're outside your workplace, so I should let you get off. But guys, please do slap a like on the video before you head up out of here. And obviously we got West Ham on Sunday.
Yeah.
So hopefully West Ham will be the game that we capture. I know loads of people have been asking me questions, so let me do some very, very quick plugs. Obviously, me and Ola will be back with our misguided Ghanaian friend, Will, for the combat show on Friday at 9:30. So make sure the link to that is in the description. If you haven't subscribed already, we're well through 200 subscribers now. Let's get the road to 300 subscribers ticked off as quickly as possible. So make sure you subscribe to that. So for anything MMA, we'll be concentrating on the Kevin Holland, Derek Brunson matchup. So make sure you capture that. Next week will obviously be a very, very good show because we're concentrating on Dillian White, Povetkin, as well as the big 260 card. So, excuse me. So next week will really be a big, big show. But this week will still be a good show. So make sure you do capture us then. I'm also about to watch the Zack Snyder's cut of the Justice League. People have been asking me if I'm going to cover that and review that on Chick Flicks. I will be. I'll do a review straight after I watch it. So make sure you capture that and you look out for that.
I think it was Bertrand Soup that I saw on. Is it? How do you pronounce your name? Is it Soup or Soupe? I don't know, but I'll say both. Huh?
I call it
Bertrand.
Soup.
Bertrand.
Yeah.
Soup. All right. Yeah. I was gonna say Soupe or Soup. I was gonna put the E on it, man. So just so you know what I mean. I'm gonna give him both options. But I saw him tweet about it today. About this Zack Snyder Justice League thing. I was like, oh, hold on. When did this drop off? So yeah, man.
So, I've been told it's very, very good, and obviously anyone who watched the original film knows it was shit. So I want to see how they've made a shit film very, very good. Basically, from what my understanding, it's basically a new film. So I'll definitely look forward to watching it straight after this. So make sure you guys look out for that. Chick Flicks again.
Have you seen that Wonder Woman 84?
I haven't yet. I still haven't.
Yeah,
but I heard it's not great, but I haven't watched it yet. Okay. So yeah. So please look out for that. Chick Flicks. Link is in the description below. And is there anything else I'm missing? Tomorrow I'll probably do a show because I know I have not done enough Green and Eagle Eye shows. That won't be a member show. It'll just be a normal show. So look out for that for all subscribers. Look out for that. And that's pretty much it. And also just a reminder for any gold members, if you are a gold member of my show, and you want to do player ratings of myself and Ola, just make sure you're a gold member and we'll happily have you on to join us. So yeah, that's the key to do that. All right. Okay, that's pretty much it. So we're going to let you get off now. Thank you so much for watching us. And until Sunday, take care, people. Peace.
Salutes.